welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a load of bollocks, tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about a worker placement / dice rolling game. We're going to be talking about Rajas of the Ganges, and in this game you will be placing your workers out on a board, manipulating dice in the hope that you can get a load of money and a load of fame that will allow you to win the game. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, be telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Rajas of the Ganges is still worth your time and bother 7 years after it was first released in 2017. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. See you after this. Bollocks. So, Rajas of the Ganges, how'd you play this game? So Rajas of the Ganges is a very simple worker placement game that uses a dice manipulation mechanism, yeah? Each player is going to get a player board and 3 workers, yeah? In a 3 or 4 player game, you're only going to be able to use 5 workers. You'll be able to get extra workers when you pass different thresholds on the board, right? So on your turn, you will place a worker on one of the spaces on the board, yeah? You'll see that the board is divided up into different segments. You've got the palace with a load of personalities on it, you've got the temples on the side, you've got a river, and then you've got a load of other shit in the middle. So some of the actions you could take the quarry action. You'll have to put your worker on the board, pay the cost in money by moving your marker down that number of spots on the money track, and you'll be able to choose a tile from the display, yeah? You'll have to give up a certain number of dice that are listed on the tile, and then you'll put the tile on your board, making sure that any roads always lead back to your palace, yeah? If any of the roads connect to any of the bonuses on the side of the board, then you'll collect that bonus immediately, right? Also get a number of fame points equal to the position you are on the corresponding temple track, yeah? And if you pick up a market tile, you'll be able to get some extra dosh. So the next space you go to is the market space, yeah? Depending on how many markets you have on your player board, you'll get a load of money. The first space lets you get money for the same type of market, and the next space allows you to get money for different types of markets, yeah? You could do the river action. You'll give up a 1, 2 or 3 pip die, and then you'll move your boat up 1, 2 or 3 spaces, and you'll take the bonus that you land on, yeah? If you go past the bridge, then you'll pick up an extra worker, but you can never have more than 5, right? I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So the next spaces you can go to are the palace action spaces. You see there's a bunch of geezers and geezettes on these spaces. You have to give up a die to go here, and then you'll take the action. So an example of some of these spaces, you can give up a 1 value die to take 2 fame and get the first player marker for the next round, yeah? You could give up a 2 pip die to get 2 dice of your choice. You have to roll them obviously when you get them, and you'll also be able to take 1 of the white bonus markers that will give you either dice or money or some other shit. You could give up a value 4 die to advance on the temple track and get free money, or you could go and visit the Portuguese, which will allow you to move up 6 spaces exactly on the river track, taking a bonus as well, yeah? There's also the terraces where you can bump into a load of football hooligans. I am joking, obviously. You'll be able to trade in dice for other dice, or you'll be able to re-roll all of your dice and get some money, right? So once everybody has placed all their workers, the round will end. You'll pass the first player token to the player on the left, unless somebody took the space at the palace, yeah? And then you'll take back all your workers and you will go again. The game will end when one person's fame marker goes past their money marker, and that player will be the winner of Rajas of the Ganges. What do we like? But Rajas of the Ganges. So the first thing that we really like about this game is the dual victory point tracks, yeah? I'm not sure if this is the first game to do it, but this was also used in the very successful game Ark Nova, right? That's one of the things that we really liked about this game. So it stands to reason that we are going to enjoy that in this game. Why do we like this mechanism so much? Well, I tell you why. That's because in this game, fame is worth twice as many spaces as money, but fame is harder to get. So you could double down on the markets, get a load of high producing markets and just keep going to the market spot every round to get 9 money. But in doing so, you're going to be neglecting fame, and that means you're going to be languishing behind. So it might be in your interest to focus on fame, but then you're going to be sacrificing money, yeah? And the dual victory point tracks also mean that it's very, very difficult to tell who is in the lead, yeah? Like I said, if you've got a bunch of money. You're going to have to spend that money, but you won't have to spend fame points. It's not until the end of the game that it becomes apparent how far ahead you are. So someone could quite easily sneak the win if they are a cunning stunt. So the second thing that we really like about this is the detail board. The artist is the same geezer that done the Marco Polo games, yeah? And if you look on the board, you'll see an immense amount of detail. You'll see those brave souls that are swimming in the river Ganges downstream, yeah? And every time I play this game, I always picture myself having a dump off the bridge and watching my floater cascade down the river into somebody's mouth, yeah? So yeah, the board is rich in detail. There's loads of hidden stuff, and it also allows you to fantasize about shitting in someone's mouth. So the final thing that we really like about Rajas of the Ganges is that the game's intensity ramps up to a heart attack inducing level towards the end of the game. Like we said in the first point, yeah, it's very difficult to tell who is in the lead. And once you've got your engine going, once you've got a few temples on your player board and you've bumped them up on the temple track and you've got your markets in place, you're going to be able to generate a lot of money and perhaps a lot of fame each round, yeah? And it's not only you that's going to be doing that. Every other player is going to be doing that. So there's going to be this mad dash to get to the right spots, maybe sacrificing a turn so you can get that first player token so you can get what you want in the next turn. And some people don't like this, yeah? They don't like the stress involved when you're coming to the end of a game, yeah? But for me, this reminds me of being smashed out my bonds at a rave in the early 90s, yeah? It's that intense. So what don't we like about Rajas of the Ganges? So the first thing that we don't like about this game is that it's too short. I really do enjoy this game, and before you know it, it's over. This game lasts for just over an hour, and it feels like just as you're getting your engine going, just as you have oiled your machine, so to speak, then the game comes to an end and you're left thinking, I just wanted one or two more rounds, yeah? Another 20 minutes on top of this game length would do this game a lot of justice, but it's not in there. It leaves me feeling a little bit unfulfilled because I just want to keep playing it, you know what I mean? Usually there's just not enough time to have another game of this, yeah? So another 20 minutes would have been a bonus. Second thing that we don't like about Rajas of the Ganges, and this isn't explicit to this game in particular, right? It's an issue with a lot of games that involve dice. Yeah, you guessed it. If you roll badly, then you are fucked. The only mitigation mechanism you've got here is karma. You've got a little track at the top of the board and you can take actions that will allow you to move your marker up and down a karma track, and you can spend karma to turn a dice upside down, yeah? So if you've got a 5 and you need a 2 to go up shit creek without a paddle, then you can spend a karma to turn a die upside down, yeah? And that is about it. There's not really any other method to mitigate shit die rolls, yeah? So you better start practicing rolling your dice, because this game is going to chop your bollocks off if you roll badly. So the third thing that we don't like about this game is that the market may be a little bit overpowered. They did try and neuter this by only allowing you to go there once per turn, so they obviously are aware of it. But if you have got your markets up together, then you can get quite a bit of money every time you go to the market, yeah? And I've seen this game won by somebody doing just that. They use their worker to get the first player token and then they spam the markets, yeah? And it can be a little bit frustrating if you don't ever get to go there through no fault of your own, really. So yeah, the fact that the markets do produce a bountiful amount of money can be a problem if you don't formulate your strategy accordingly, you know what I mean? So to summarise, is Rajas of the Ganges still worth your time and bother 7 years after it's first released? So we are going to say yes. Rajas of the Ganges blends dice rolling and worker placement in an enthralling and exciting romp up the Ganges River. It's difficult to mitigate poor rolls, with karma being the only real option available, and it feels like there's just not enough time to enact your full strategy, yeah? I would have liked an extra couple of goes or maybe another 20 minutes bolted onto this one, yeah? But aside from that, this worker placement game offers something unique and compelling in a vastly expanding cesspool of aging worker placement games, yeah? So that is Rajas of the Ganges. Remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. See you next time.